Yo. Let's go, chat. Let's go. It is Lure Day, so we are going to be sitting here. Is it collections? This fun little tab right here is what we will be living in today. So we've got all of this, you know, all of this, all of this, all of this. I'm only missing 2 books. Where the fuck do I get these books from? What? Darkness. Who knows, bro? Anyway. That's Dustin Dollar. I love how there's no information on what this is. That's interesting. Anyway, so we're just gonna chill out for a second, you know, while we wait for people to get here. And this is my guy. He looks funky. That's probably why. Shipwright's Winery. There we go. Much better. That's wonderful. Oh yeah, no, 100% that one. I don't know what I put that in. Oops. Alright. Did it. Oh. Well. I'm thinking I might change this. I mean, this is what I started with. Like, this is cool and all, but I don't know, man. I might go back to that or that. What does this look like? Oh my god, why is this not equipped? Wait, is the ship I have faster now? Guys, I don't know what it is that does it, but like, if I get enough damage done, it makes me, you know, invisible for a second. Like, I genuinely don't know what does it, but... What else to do? Oh, I haven't even done that yet. Fun. We'll get there. Ooh. Ah, guys, I'm tired. I could do some of this. Guys, my Discord went out so late. That's crazy. Pickles. Hmm. How do I do this? Hmm. I'm probably gonna do something solo. Probably this. Honestly. Wait, what? Huh. We'll do Trials of Osiris, but you know. I need to do that. I just haven't yet. Okay. Alright, alright. I'm gonna give him 10 seconds. Anyway, alright. It's pretty much more time. I can't wait until I get Deadeye, because I know it's gonna be the first fucking thing I get. Anyway. Lower. Okay. So even though I have my glasses on, I can barely see. But you know, we're gonna try our best. Ready? You are a guardian, a warrior forged in Traveler's light, who has chosen to defend humanity. A beacon of hope in a universe constantly threatened by forces that would see it destroyed, or worse. Chosen by the Traveler and raised from the dead by ghosts, Guardians are part of the few able to wield paracausal abilities to manipulate the world around them. For centuries they have defended the city, but now they have extended their reach to Sol, protecting all who call this solar system home. Retake our lost worlds, forge unexpected alliances, and harness the power within yourself. The Guardians who lead the way will save humanity and become legend. Oh, I just realized I have titles. Anyway, that was what it means. This is a Guardian's best friend. Created by the Traveler's light. Ghosts seek out Guardian companions among the dead. The ghosts can be scout, librarian, and mechanic. Ancient machinery guiding their Guardians forward. In the right situations, your ghost can even save you from death. But ghosts are not immortal, as far as Guardians know. Every loss is irreplaceable. The Traveler. Everything changed when this Traveler arrived in Sol. It gave us gifts that transformed the solar system and the nature of human life. Moreover, it ushered in the Golden Age, a renaissance of scientific and cultural achievement. Despite all the good it has done for us, we still know nothing of the Traveler's origin or the reason it gifted light bearers with paracausal powers. Unbeknownst to us, each of those miracles came at a price. Threats greater than we could have ever fathomed have found their way to our doorstep in pursuit of the Traveler. That is book 1, which is called Guardians and Ghosts. Enemies of humanity. Okay. The threats we face. The arrival of the Traveler, for all the good it has brought Sol, painted a target on the entire system. Humanity has faced enemies from all corners of the universe. The Fallen, the Hive, the Scorn, the Vex, the Cabal, and the Taken, to name a few. While Guardians successfully fought off each onslaught, a greater enemy was revealed, the Witness. A mysterious voice in the darkness that led our enemies to our solar system and the Traveler. Though the Witness was cloaked in mystery, one thing was clear. It sought the destruction of the Traveler. Okay. I love how out of order my books are. Anyway. Okay. The Vanguard. The leaders who guide us. The Vanguard is the last city's greatest defense and first line of offense when a threat presents itself. The organization is comprised of a long, storied line of elite Guardians with a leader chosen for each of the classes: Hunter, Titan, and Warlock. Commander Zavala serves as Titan Vanguard, a force of nature, as unyielding as he is deadly. He has led the Guardians to victory in countless battles, and the moment a threat presents itself, the last city looks to him as both a leader and a protector. Ikora Rey serves as the Warlock Vanguard, an unmatched scholar, and one of the most formidable warlocks in the history of the last city. She oversees the Vanguard's intelligence network known as the Hidden. Currently, the Hunter Vanguard position remains open. The title once belonged to Cade Six, a guardian as quick with a gun as he was with a joke. He met his final death after his ghost was killed. Sobering reminder that even guardians can be slain. A statue of him stands in the tower to keep his memory alive. Okay, but obviously we know more than that, but we don't have the books on it. So we're gonna skip how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books and go on to Two Old Friends, which apparently I haven't read yet. Meanwhile, these I've had, which is weird. Chapter 1 of Two Old Friends. Grimoire. The City. Onslaught. Our enemies never relent, neither will you, Lord Shaxx. Despite the sharp breeze in the tower, the air in Shaxx's outpost is uncomfortably still and weighted with tension. There's work to do. Personal feeling must not interfere when certain doom hangs over all their heads. We can't afford to play defense. Not now. Shaxx stares fixedly at the training plans drawn up for his guardians. Then offense will have to see us through this fight. That should come naturally to you. Saladin's posture is legionary perfect. Then that's that. Teeth gritted under his helmet. Shaxx folds his arms. After a long moment, he adds, "Good talk." Saladin nods. "Good talk." They look at the screen in silence. There is nobody to rescue them. Well, that ended depressingly. Wait, it says... I just read all of this. Why isn't it... I didn't update this. Who knows? Sorry guys, checking notifications. Okay. Don't know what I'm doing in my life. Anyway. Whew. God, I sound so tired, but I'm really not. Okay. I have 31 followers. Sorry. I just realized that. I didn't know that. Whoa. That's actually kind of scary. I have a follower goal of 40, guys. This is so scary. Love you guys. Alright, moving on. Back to the lore, guys. Back to the lore. Grimoire. Eris Morn. Hive God of Vengeance. Eris. Tenacious Eris. Crota's Bane. Oryx's Sorrow. Ruin of Xivu a Wrath. See you reduced once again to a minion of the Awoken Queen, examining a locked gate for signs of weakness, rattling the bars to the afterlife when you might have kicked the door in. This very plane could have been yours. What you lacked in natural talent you fashioned from scholarly genius. Your will is the thing, and I mistook yours. How you burned with it. The noble vindication of victory. Every sword ever raised against you. Can I say, against us. Down through the long years of history. Vengeance killed Oryx. Why not his sibling? But you threw the match. What good is a mortal blow, half delivered? You whet your blade and threw it down. The throne of war abandoned. 1,000 races fed that glorious polyp. All that hard-won evidence, you didn't even look at it. I could have guided you. Don't you see that? What will you do now? Take down their banners? Hope for vengeance without bloodshed? And through what realms have you stamped the proof of your cause? I, too, avenged? Why would I want that? Wait, come back. Okay. Cool. What is the fuck going on? I posted like one thing on Tumblr and now it's like blowing up. It's crazy. Anyway. Let's go. Romar, the Ironwood Tree. Not much sense memorializing anybody during the Dark Age. Anyone worth remembering, you'd hang on to them without trying. Drifter crouches down in front of the old Ironwood Tree, mindful of the offerings littering the ground. The amulet's nothing fancy, not one of those Iron Lord tokens, but handmade, and with some care. Joxer's name is easy to read, crisp lettering. Dumb heroics will get you every time. Volunteering. First one through, so the rest of us know not to try it. Drifter smirks. He'd have had a fighting chance against a Remival? Sure. Big payout if he made it. Cleaner death if he didn't. Lord Shack shifts his weight. His helmet cants toward the Drifter. But then you wouldn't be standing here. There's no reply. Sad much? Romar. Rave. Arsenal. Lord Shax. Oh, he's quite a craftsman. But then, of course, he's a survivor, like us. He loves rewarding his pupils with praise, and at times, with something more material. He invests great care in his designs. Still, sometimes a weapon has an unexpected kick, side effect. He locks these away for special occasions. Other times, the Vanguard intervenes. You never know where you'll find the next ghost killer. But outside the Crucible, the rules of engagement shift. There's no sense in leaving perfectly good armaments in storage. Don't worry, Namrask. I do not intend to abandon the loom. I'm merely consulting. I'm surprised Lord Shax let Drifter contribute. His aptitude is not in question, but I thought, what? Oh yes. Low-level radiation is to be expected. Is this Ada? I think it is. Jeez, I can't stop yawning. It's killing me. Oh, sorry, hang on. Article. Down on the Farm. By Ember Haddad, senior editor at the City Herald. Readers might be forgiven for imagining that, after having been captured by Shadow Legion forces, EDZ residents might consider relocating to the last city. I took a trip out to the famed settlement known as the Farm, to talk to the civilians and FOTC officers still stubbornly posted at the edges of the world. We're not fighting for one city, we're fighting for humanity, says Baishan, one of the farm's technicians. Baishan is charged with maintaining the farm's few precious remaining generators, and, more recently, its ether processors. This is our world, and we're going to keep staking a claim. Naomi, a pilot with forces of the city, has been overseeing regular supply runs to the farm in the wake of Fuse bombardment by the Shadow Legion. She sees this as par for the course. Humans are good at adapting to just about anything, she observes. For many, the true revelations have come as a result of continued cooperation with new Eliksni neighbors. Okay. Longtime farm resident Carol notes, there's a lot about fallen tech we couldn't have guessed at. With Skiris and Rixgor helping out, we've cobbled together our own solar cell network. Our energy output is 5 times what it used to be. First step toward long-term projects is getting out of starvation mode. And the people here do think long-term. Few of the people I interviewed seem to have much interest in returning to the safety of the city walls. This is driving me crazy. Anyway, the witness tore down our cities, blighted our air and water, and sent raiders and monsters after us. We're still here, waiting for the first chance we get to take it all back. The way I see it, those of us here on the farm are just getting a head start. Alright, Joe. Bye-bye with that. Just... Okay. I need to just stop yawning. You good? Okay. Grimoire. Enemies. Reaver Vandal. Death is the great mystery to us all, Master Raku. Sorry, guys. Apparently my body's tired. I'm not. Oof. My glasses are dirty. The question of Eliksni mortality is often discussed amongst members of the Cryptarchy. Stories of Eliksni arising in full health from a death or near-death state, as Mithrax did, some say, abound. The Reaver of Old Russia is attested to in dozens of Vanguard records. Experienced guardians will swear on their ghosts that they once killed a Reaver Vandal who was uncannily strong for his size, only to see him alive and well again the next day. They have given him a nickname, perhaps as a show of respect for another being seemingly immune to death. Okay guys, hang on, I gotta get something to clean my glasses with. This is driving me crazy. Okay, now I actually clean the glasses. Let's see. Guys, my hands are so shaky and I can't quite figure out why. Oh my god. We've been live for 30 minutes. Oof. Glasses are so dirty. Like, why are they this dirty? I brought myself some energy. Some sustenance, you know? Okay. Article. A Darker Hour. Looking Back at the Great. By Manuel Ukin, staff writer for the City Herald. Several lifetimes have passed since the Vanguard suffered a blow from which many felt it might never recover. For the lightless among us, the great disaster has become a fable, a story of monsters and tragic heroes encompassing the worst the universe can bring to bear. For many of the city's guardians, however, the events of that time are not simply part of the historical record, but personal memory. I'd never seen anything like it, Odon Kolos says. That army the Vanguard put together? Emboldened by the initial victory against the Hive at the site of Burning Lake, the Vanguard and Consensus ordered a full-scale assault on the moon. An army of Guardians, thousands strong, marched against entrenched Hive forces, only to fall by the hundreds to a single Hive champion. Odon was one of the lucky Guardians who managed to reach a transport before the moon was abandoned in the retreat. Turns out immortal doesn't mean invincible. It just means you stand a better chance of living with your mistakes. The disaster spelled the beginning and the end for the Vanguard's military prospects. Any hope of formally organizing the city's light-bearers dissipated. Contemporary records showed that many felt the Guardian population soon became ungovernable, even disloyal in the wake of the Vanguard's failure. But events in recent years suggest that Guardians do not require loyalty to a military command to compel them to place themselves in danger on behalf of the city. Whether driven by hope for humanity or a desire for wealth, Guardians have continued to face off against increasingly dire threats. I used to run with Future War Cult, Odon tells me. I guess I started to think maybe we win the little fights, but we're never going to do anything about the real enemies out there. That war will always be waiting. He laughs. And then someone comes along and kicks Crota's teeth in. Fucking Crota, man. Hang on. I'm taking off my hoodie. Chat, the stream, I know is like kind of boring, but also it's kind of fun. Like, because I know nothing about the lore, in all honesty. So, why are there so many pages in this fucking book? Like, they're not even all that long. It's just reading out loud fucks me up, man. Grimoire. City. Praxic Order. They're some of the tower's best assets. There is always the risk, of course, of over-enthusiasm. Like Quora Ray. Ooh, what's this? Type. Agent feed. Parties. 2. 1. Agent Honor Mahal. Male, I assume. 1. Field Agent. Redacted. Under warrant encryption. Audio unavailable. Transcript follows. M01. Keep cool, Agent. R02. I'm steady as a titan. M02. I think I fucked that up. Anyway. Steadiness means not getting cocky on the way out. R02. Oh, in that case. R. 03. Don't think they clocked me in this gear. Nothing but a blueberry with a nasty streak. M03. And deal? R04. Next week. Even a new light like me could find a better deal before then. M04. I'd rather deal with incompetent arms dealers than the reverse. It's not now. R05. You and me both. Who is this? Who is this? Oh, where the fuck redacted this? Oh, hey, we've got Emmanuel. Him again. Okay. Article. United in Hope. Our neighbors in Nimona. By Emmanuel Utkin, staff writer at the City Herald. Confirmation of a human settlement on Neptune was only one of several shocking revelations over the course of recent years. Its discovery marks a sea change in our collective access to Golden Age information and technology long thought to be lost. Perhaps more importantly, it heralds potential reconnection with the rest of our people. Who are these Nimona? Are they anything like us? Real-time communication between Nimona and Earth is still stymied by the logistics of crossing enemy lines. In addition to Nimona's communications restrictions, data transmissions from Nimona are strictly controlled and scrutinized for Vex corruption. Therefore, Vanguard sources provide assistance contacting Nimona citizens. We asked willing individuals to share their perspectives on the possibilities of a long-awaited reunion with Earth. Despite the danger, many Nimona denizens are optimistic about the curtain coming down someday in the future. A brief selection of their thoughts follows. I don't know how things would have shaken out if we'd stay on Earth. Maybe we wouldn't have the Cloud Arc or nanotechnology. But if we make it through this fight with the Witness, I think it's only fair we send over, what we have on food production, terraforming. There's a whole planet to reclaim. I'd love to read some new Earth literature. I always assumed that the stories we managed to bring over with us were going to be the last of their kind. Does anyone over there like detective stories? It's been interesting to see the Guardians at work. Is everyone on Earth like that? Going at Mach 10 all the time? Stay tuned for continued coverage, including a guest feature from Neomona's very own Jizu Calorondo. I don't know how to say his name. I think it is. I don't know. Anyway. Article. Hot off the shelf. By Ember Haddad, senior editor at the City Herald. My new friend is an unassuming young man in a torn flight jacket, still coated in a fine layer of dust. His ghost, Rivet, is looking impressively smug for a small metal being. They told me I'd never find my guardian, Rivet told me, that I should try my luck with the Hive. But look at him. He's beautiful, like all Risen. Rivet's beautiful new guardian has no memory of who he was, where he is, or what his purpose might be, but he nods agreeably when Rivet explains to him that guardians protect the last city. I'm here to fight the Fallen and Cabal, the guardian says proudly, but only the mean ones. He's still figuring a few details out, Rivet says. It's been a very eventful past few years in the Sol System. I ask Rivet, at this point in time, how does a ghost go about getting their new guardian up to speed? Well, you start by warning them about what threats will be facing the field, right? I haven't really gotten to the part about the end of the world just yet, though. Rivet's guardian looks confused. The world is ending? Vanguard operative Shah Han, my escort through the Cosmodrome and local shepherd of those he calls New Lights, has similar advice. It helps us to focus on the basics. Let them test out their light, learn what they're capable of. The details can come later. Even now? Yep. Once they've got a handle on the little things, saving the world comes naturally. Does it now? Okay. It's about to be fun. Article. A consensus for the rest of us. Whew. Okay. My throat is killing me, guys. I hate talking without, someone to interrupt me. If that makes sense. Just talking nonstop. By Leah Herzaz, political correspondent at the City Herald. Chibuk Otino, Perka Porsar, Argus McCohen. If there's anything the current state of consensus hopefuls have in common, it's that they offer a very different kind of representation for the mortal population of the last city. Arcus political gatherings have become a staple of the city's nightlife in recent months, with potential candidates vying for the chance to make their case for candidacy, Jesus Christ, in the city's parks and public squares. Chief among their demands is the urgent restoration of fair representation to the city's government. Notably absent are the old trappings of the long-established faction loyalties. This move away from Guardian-driven factions speaks to a more mortal-centric framing. Claims Dina Palomo, one of the several enthusiastic volunteers campaigning on behalf of McCohen. We know the Vanguard can handle the long view, but we need the short-term perspective as well as the immortal one. Warlock Vanguard Ikora Ray has repeatedly pledged to restore the consensus, promising to hold civilian elections once the immediate threat is over. Not everyone is content to wait. Okay. How many citizens were exiled from the city because they got Executor Hido's bad side? Asked one local. I mean, how many Guardians got the boot because they wanted Guardians ruling the city? Isn't that what we have now? If things are so desperate, why don't we invite some of our people back home? Others call the excitement over elections premature. If we lose the war, I'm pretty sure none of us are going to be alive to do any voting. It's difficult to argue the point that election turnout might be poor under the current circumstances. But if the lightless members of our community are to have a voice in the future, it's clear that there are those ready and eager to speak. Oof. Grimoire, allies, Elixir. We have found the great machine, Mithrax. After Chelsis? I don't really know. Anyway. Known on Earth for centuries as the Fallen, the Elixir are four-armed beings from the planet Rise. They fled their home after the Traveler's departure, which caused a planet-wide calamity called the Whirlwind. While many Elixir remain steadfast enemies of the last city, others have joined as our allies and neighbors, most notably the House of Light and their leader, Mithrax. Elixir rely on the inhalation of ether to survive and grow. Processed from organic materials and energy by servitors, Ether is highly combustible. As such, any leaks in the city tanks should be immediately reported through emergency channels. Anyway. Allies. Tower. Empress. Keitel. There we go. Keitel. We eat the mountains. We drink the seas. The former emperor, Callus, lived for joy, rejecting his empire's long military tradition. His sole heir, and a member of the coup that overthrew him, the Empress Keitel, makes for a different leader. Classic militarist. She trained in her youth as a fighter pilot. Keitel has bent her considerable might to two goals: defeating the Witness and reclaiming her homeworld of Torobatal. Keitel's empire is a sprawling one, composed of many peoples. It continues to expand even within Seoul, with the Empress accepting the oath of the empire's first guardian, the Valis Saladin Forge. Interesting. Guys, I keep yawning and it's driving me crazy. Anyway. Article: Visitors Out of Dreams, Shading Reef, by Leah Terezas, political correspondent at the City Herald. Recent strategic summits between Queen Mara Sov of the Awoken and the Vanguard have provided our citizens with that rarest of honors, a glimpse of our awoken neighbors. Oh. Why do I keep yawning? Oh my god. The city has hosted a small awoken population for centuries, but reef-born subjects of the Queen were merely commonly contained to awoken settlements and outposts within their own territory. Queen's secrets were guarded zealously. Prior relations with the city often bordered on hostility. In the face of common threats, however, this isolationist party has since softened. For today's citizens, the arrival of awoken corsairs is a minor spectacle. I just know it's some sort of divine monarchy, one local commented. How are we supposed to keep up with everything in Seoul these days? But they sure look impressive. Initial impressions of the awoken corsairs appear to be positive, with several residents describing them as disciplined, worldly, and surprisingly grounded. We made a choice to help Earth long ago, said one corsair. I'm glad we can do so openly. When the imminent battle for the traveler is foremost in everyone's minds, several corsairs noted their hopes for continued cooperation, especially given the rumors of a resurgence of infamous Akamkara. As another corsair put it, there's a lot we're going to have to figure out together in a hurry. Anyway, chat, we just finished Sold Friends, so we get to move on from the question mark guy over here to the lights, which we're only missing 2 books from. So, there's 14 in this one, 13, 23, 13, 6, 9, 22, 9, 9, 15, 10, 14, 19, 9, 12, 7, 8, 6, 10, 8, 9, 6, 9. Oof. Why is that thing completed? I don't know. I don't want to know. I kind of want to find the short ones and then do those. I think the shortest, that's always 6, right? If I do the short ones, then I can just... Yeah, we'll start here, which is crazy. But Purpose. That is the name of the book. Got a 1 or... Yeah. 1. Debriefing. Sloan? Commander Zavala's voice sounds distorted, as if he were underwater. The chill running down Sloane's spine only adds to the sensation. She knows she had been gone for a while. How long, she isn't sure. Teotihuacan's internal chronometer glitched out shortly after Titan disappeared and took them with it. Sloane had been left to measure the passage of time by feeling it in her bones. The universe moved on without her. That was to be expected. But Sloane still can't believe Zavala's debriefing. Words crash into her like one tidal wave after another, threatening to knock her off balance with her lungs crying. Stasis, Tidal, House of Light, Savathun, a lucent brood, Yamuna, Amanda. Sloane's thoughts drift back to the wake of the Red War. Call signs, banters, holidays, hawk flew over her head. Small talk between stories, quiet moments and shared laughter between the static bow of gunfire and roar of jet engines. Friendship chiseled into marble one stroke at a time. Amanda was always fearless. The first to stand up, the last to go home. Why did she always have to be such a damn hero? Sloane, Zavala says again. She realizes she's been clenching her fists. She might have been shaking. Sloane's eyes focus once more, meeting those of her commanding officer. He looks different than she remembers. His eyes seem older, wiser, and filled with something that catches her off guard. Is that pity? Can he see it? This pit in her stomach, this yawning chasm that yearns to swallow her whole. Is he questioning her resolve? Her ability to see this through, to do her duty back on the front line so others don't have to? Does he see your weakness? Sloane clenches her fists again. Sir, she replies. Her voice holds steady. Understood, sir. Zavala's brow furrows. A lot to take in. You need to. I don't. A moment of silence passes. Sloane does not let him see anything. Zavala nods. Very well, he says, dismissed. Sloane salutes and returns to the station. She would be the first to stand up, and the last to go home. Holy crap, bro. Whew. Guys, my throat is killing me. You've got to give me a second. Like, it hurts, bro. Gotta find, like, cough drops or something. Hang on. Alright, chat. I'm back. Sorry about that. It took longer than I expected. I had to do something else. But I have acquired cough syrup for my horribly in pain throat. So I should be good now, you know? Ugh. Alright, just give me a second. Anyway, how am I feeling, guys? Oh my god. It's a Brandon. Hi, Brandon. How are you? I guess I got back just in time. I see your head hurts. That sucks. Honestly. If you need to go to sleep, man. Seriously, like, don't stay up too late. That shit sucks. I know you haven't been on the last couple, but, you know, if you just want to, like, turn the volume all the way down and, like, go to fuck sleep, I wouldn't mind. You need sleep, man. I know how your schedule is. It sucks. You can miss as many as you need, though. Like, seriously, like, if you can't make a stream, it's okay. It's not like I have a big enough community yet for, like, to always need a mod in chat. Alright. Let's get back to reading the wonders of lore. Okay, let's do this. Jesus, still yawning. Fuck. I didn't yawn once while I was away from stream. And now I get back and I'm yawning. Like, what? Out here pinning messages. Love you, bro. Anyway. Okay. 2. Theory. Ikora pinches a thick and vibrant strand thread from the air and twists it between her fingers with ease. It plies to her influence, but smooths the motions of her hands, tapering her movements to flow in cleaner lines. The veil tones in rhythm with the plucks of tension rolling across her knuckles. She focuses on the subtle irregularities in each pulse, patterns they form. There are small, few plucked reverberations that resonate out beyond the walls of this chamber, beyond detection of her intuition, and out into the cosmos. Those capture her interest most. More yawning. I love that one. Behind her, an animated avatar escorts Osiris into the Veil's containment chamber. They gesture him towards Ikora and bid farewell. Osiris watches the ripples play out before him, and across the fabric of reality is a wave, then particles, then a wave again. He feels it brush over him. He steps with the cadence of each pulse, scent rippling from Ikora's plucking knuckles, basking in strands, energizing rhythm, feeling cold. It's stronger, the Veil's signature. Ikora's voice carries a hint of learned suspicion. Ever since we recovered, that is to be expected, Osiris retorts. Now, within the weave of
throning strands surrounding the veil. The room around them trembles. The Titan is torn back. The veil took notice. It seemed to recognize the Titan's arrival. Ikora tightens her grip on the strand. We have the veil, our ghosts. What are we missing? If we decipher, crazy. If we decipher the connection between Titan and veil, that connection might be what we need to follow the witness. What of the worm? Osiris asked skeptically. Sloane believes she is our best chance. You taught me to have a backup plan. Ikora gives him a stern look. Titan, Savathun's throne world. Every place we've found Gregor. I haven't found the exact threads yet, but pull one, and they all seem to spin back to Neomuna, to the veil. You're getting ahead of yourself, following some of my less favorable tendencies. Nimbus says we must flow to understand Strand. Perhaps it is the same with the veil. Osiris moves aside Ikora and reaches up, palm parallel to the threads drawn taut from Ikora's braid of strand. Soul remembered Titan, in a way. The veil's signals spiked when Titan returned from memory to reality, when the rhythm of the solar system had been restored to order. Osiris drops his hand and looks to Ikora. Perhaps we must simply find that rhythm before we are able to interrupt the beats within it. And once we do, then we should be able to reverse that process, she replies. Ikora releases the thread and tracks the rippling points of connection that travel outward, along the fabric like strands of existence, to the walls of the containment enclosure. We're too late in the game for something to mean nothing. It has to connect. Ikora sighs, then turns to Osiris. Your flair for educating others is returning, though I bet some would say you never lost it. She smiles. Osiris smirks. Come, walk with me. We will discuss this unifying theory of yours. Alright, so, quick, random, totally fun fact that they'll probably mention in these books somewhere. But I just like knowing this. Osiris, if I remember this all correctly, was the old Warlock Vanguard, which is Ikora's role now. But Osiris's ghost got killed. So he doesn't have the light anymore, basically. Like, he's alive, but he couldn't die and then come back, like everyone else can. So he had to step down from Warlock Vanguard, so he couldn't risk that. Probably partially for, Saint 14, which is, I don't know if they're married, but, you know, they're gay. They're wonderful. His husband, his boyfriend, whatever the fuck. They're great. There's, like, Saint 14 is Russian, but he's, like, a robot, so it's hilarious. But, like, he's a Russian gay guy. Like, what? Love that. Anyway. Moving on. Next chapter. Oh, after a yawn. Ooh. Jesus. Okay. I gotta focus. Oh my god, my throat. Again, it hurts. No, this is not chill. Not chill.
Okay. Oh my God, guys, why is everyone... Oh my God, my Tumblr is getting blown up, and I, for the life of me, don't understand why. I'm not even that cool, guys. Why are you so interested? You know, does that make sense? Like, why? Just why? Okay. 3. Legacy. A soft, stimulated whimper echoes through the workshop as Archie rests his head on Anna's shoulder. They sit together in front of the harness holding up Rasputin's erstwhile exoframe. A lifeless effigy of cables and steel. I know, buddy. I miss him too. I totally skipped that. I skipped part of that. Oops, my bad. I know, buddy, Anna says quietly. I miss him too. After Rasputin's sacrifice, Anna had arranged for the exoframe to be transferred from the helm to her workspace in the tower. At the time, she had told herself that keeping the frame in storage would have been a waste, that its technological advancements could prove useful to the other exos in the future. Honestly, though, she simply wasn't ready to let go. Nevertheless, she signed herself up for a new task. What better way to cope with grief than by staying busy? Man, that shit catches up to you later. Anyway, so she had made good on her word, tinkering with the frame to reverse engineer its more convoluted components. That was until she heard that Titan, like Mars before it, had suddenly reappeared, and Salone along with it, a warrior in need of war, a weapon in search of a target, not unlike the war mind. Thought kept Anna from fully burying herself in work. For now, she wraps an arm around Archie as her thoughts drift all the detritus left in Rasputin's wake. Rasputin had assembled an arsenal of unfathomable scale, remnants from thousands of warsats strewn across the solar system, prototype weaponry never to be completed. Stratagems and simulations forever forgotten. And yet, sitting here in the shadow of his sacrifice, Anna finds that she wants to remember him by the one thing not built for war, a canine AI, created for no other purpose than companionship, one that has made a home for himself in the tower, greeting everyone he meets on his daily walks. In the end, Rasputin's legacy was not the war he waged, but the lives he sought to protect. The notion brings a smile to Anna's lips. It's what distinguished him from Zevul Wrath, and Anna hopes that Sloane can realize the same holds true for her. Anna looks to the exoframe one last time before rising to her feet, pats the dog on its head. He happily wags his tail in response. Come on, Archie, she says as she reaches for her comms unit. Let's go for a walk. Guys, I didn't know the dog had a name. Oh my god. That's good boy protocol. Chat. As soon as we finish this book, The Purpose, I'm going to the tower and we're saying hi to Archie. What? I didn't know he had a name? Why didn't I know he had a name? Okay. Alright. 4. Tether. Eris let her eyes wander over the interior of the derelict, I think, wondering if Drifter had hastily tidied it before her arrival. Unprecedented, but he could still surprise her. They sat together as they always did when she came to speak to him face to face. Drifter sighed and shook his head, flicking his coin absently between his fingers. Sloane's in a bad way, he said.
Eris nodded. "Then you believe my speaking to her will be beneficial," she replied. Drifter shrugged. "Helped a few people already, didn't it?" Eris considered this. "It should be you," she finally answered. Drifter laughed at this, but fell silent when her expression remained unchanged. Me? His confusion was genuine. Why would she trust me? "Trust is built, Drifter," Eris said, "and you've taken the first step." He was pensive. The movement of the coin over his knuckles stopped. She continued. "I have found," she said, her words measured, "that one is grounded by honesty, not only in oneself, but with those around you." He heaved a slow, hard breath. "I don't know if I can," he said, his voice small. "Yes, honesty is a supplication," Eris said. We ask to be seen, we are made vulnerable, but it is necessary to be treated with care. Her explanation was met with one of his rasping chuckles. Drifter leaned back in his seat, arms crossed. He held his coin tightly between the thumb and forefinger. "You always make something so easy sound so freaky, Moondust," he said. Eris ignored this. "Tell her what you told me," she said more simply. "The deputy commander's trust will not come without reciprocity." Drifter fell quiet, looking down. She could hear his breath and see the strange shiver of his fingers where he clutched the coin. Eris reached out and placed a hand on his arm. He was tense to trembling. I don't understand what that means, but her touch was light, quiet, comforting. He placed his hand over her own. "You know, some days I still wake up scared," Drifter said softly, "even when I can't remember my dreams. That is what it is to survive." There was a gentleness to Eris's voice. He nodded, then looked up and met her gaze. "Hey, you find that joy yet?" "Soon," Eris answered. "Joy is built, but I have taken the first step." Drifter withdrew his hand. After a moment, she did too. Eris stood, and Drifter's eyes followed her. "Consider my counsel, Germaine." She knew he would. Drifter let the silence linger. "That's not my name," he said at last. "That's what you let them call you." It was a small link to his past, a link to a life he had picked for himself. He nodded slowly, holding her gaze. He would let her call him that too. I don't know what that means. I also didn't mean to scroll. Oops, I dropped the controller. I'm in pain. Something hurts. Like, everything just kind of aches. You know, does that make sense? You know, what's great about me reading the lore is I actually know nothing about it. Also, guys, this stream might only end up being 2 hours. Because, honestly, I'm actually kind of tired. Like, my head hurts. My brain won't focus. So I think we'll go to an hour and a half. How's that? Yeah. 10 more minutes. So we'll just finish the book, you know, and then we'll go from there. Ready? 5. Expectation. I don't know what I expected. Zavala sets down a data pad on his desk, watching Ikora pace back and forth across his office. I don't know, he sighs. Maybe we should have. Ikora stops pacing. She turns to look at Zavala with an accusatory stare. Every single enemy we fought was brought here by the Traveler, Zavala says, slouching back into his chair. The Hive, the Fallen, the worst of the Cabal. His attention drifts down to the data pad. Sloane's report of the origins of the Witness. What's one more group of people chasing it? This isn't the Traveler's fault, Ikora says, doubling back on Zavala's desk. You read the same report I did. We are at war with an entire civilization condensed into an individual. Multitudes of resentment and hatred crushed into a singularity. Resentment toward the Traveler, Zavala grumbles. I'm not saying the Traveler's at fault. I'm saying it's a harbinger of ill omen. Where it goes, nothing but death is followed. Does it realize that? Does it care? Ikora approaches Zavala's desk. Does it matter? She challenges him. It's obviously outgunned and running. For all the Traveler's strength, the Witness is the greater power. Never came to us to uplift us. Came to us for help. Zavala is silent. He looks up from the data pad to Ikora, then sighs and slowly rises from his seat. Ikora follows him with her eyes, watching him move to the window where he would gaze at the Traveler in the past. Now a fleet of allied vessels struggled to fill that void. Were they really that unified? Zavala asked, looking at Ikora's faint reflection. Who? The Witness's people. Zavala stares past Ikora's reflection to the city. Were they truly of one mind, united in the desire to become this thing? Or were they forced, compelled into action by guidance of a few? She can feel the doubt in his word. Not in his wonderings about the Witness's origins, but in the vanguard, and what he sees as parallel.
Guys, this is killing me. I really need to sleep. Alright.
Cora steps into Zavala's side, briefly touching his elbow. We'd never become that, she says softly. Not in all of Elise's journeys through time, not in any hypothetical future. We stand together because we believe what we're doing is right. Zavala interjects, looking Ikora in the eye. She sighs, turning to face the window. Her shoulders sag, and she is lost in the details of the cityscape. I don't know what I expected either, Zavala says, but you're right. It wasn't this.
How long is this? Oh. I'm gonna hate this, aren't I?
6. Conviction. Xivu Arath's claw wraps around a hiltless, slender, Vanta black blade, impaled into the spine of a prostrated knight, whose own sword clatters to the ground, inches from its grip, defeated. She twists her blade, and the knight's roars echo into the dreadnought. Xivu's will soars through the ascendant plane and crosses the barrier between this world and the next to find communion with the Witness. Within a distant hollow they converse. They resist. The Witness's many voices cascade over one another, like wounded prey, all tire in time. If they do not, Xivu Arath sees the hidden thrust of its question. She knows it doubts her and does not understand why. No matter the outcome, they stand at the purpose? I don't know what the word is. Purpose of the final shape. The sword will decide and be forged stronger for it. It is beyond that now. She does not want to fall before the end. She is so close now. She saw her past failures as blood penance, paid for strength. Notches where blades and light met her carapace, where legends given form. But it is not hers to decide, nor the witnesses. The logic is a perfect deterministic sequence of causality, built into the experience of conscious existence. No one can usurp it. Guys, my eyes don't want to stay open. This is insane. Jesus, I'm so tired. Okay. Your struggle with the finite is eternal. To deny the blade is heresy. Her sister's words played in her thoughts like fingertips plucking dissonant chords. The witness enters the solace of Zebu's mind, her inner throne. A salt-flat sliver extending eternally into darkness. Armaments of all fashions sleep, particularly sheathed between the cracks of battlefield. There is no place to run, and from its gaze, there is no place to run. They hold the worm, they will pursue her knowledge. The words echo throughout the desolate room. The final shape remains to be hewn, that I may wield it glorious against the sky. Not as you are, weakened by defeat. The echoes slither over her mind, but find little purchase. Laughter like screaming fear, meager victories of no consequence, blurred battles lost within my greater war. No victory is of consequence, they scheme. War is fed, regardless. The sky can grant no passage. That time will come to an end. Show her your love. See well. She's alone again, her blade buried and spent. Okay, chap. I have got to go to sleep. I'm dying here. Honestly, I never thought I'd say that, but my eyes do not want to stay open. Tired as hell. I started the stream and I was like, I'm not tired. Exhausted, bro. It's hilarious. Anyway, I will be streaming tomorrow. No idea when, but we will either pick back up on this, or work on Edges of Fate, or do some other game. I don't know. But we're streaming tomorrow. Good night, chat.